Plus-based study circle. Today, the important topic disclosure, reporting and filing and compliance of Companies Act 2013. Friends, today we are fortunate to have senior member companies secretary. Csr Sundaresan sir is with us. To enrich us on the Companies Act compliance requirements and the corporate governance issues. In addition to today's study circle meet, Bangalore branch is conducting other important workshops in this coming month, April. There are two important, in fact, three important workshops lined up. The first one is starting from 8th April to 17th April, a comprehensive workshop on transformation of CA to CFO. Transformation of CA to CFO. It is a workshop meant for practicing chartered accountants who wish to provide CFO service to their clients. So all the skill sets of the CFO, the important skill sets can be learned in that workshop. It is going to be a 5 days workshop, 4 days virtual, and the last day, Saturday, full day, both virtual and physical. The physical going to be in Taj Vivanta, Yeshwanthpur. It's a full day, 6 hours seminar on that day. The expert CFOs are going to come, and we are going to have a panel discussions. All of your queries and questions will be answered by them, and it is going to add value. A lot of valuation will happen for the current practicing chartered accountants as the compliance work, basically the GST audit and many other audits may slowly going away due to technology upgradation, artificial intelligence, and government initiatives also. So compliance may come down. As chartered accountants, we are capable to deliver, add value to our clients, and we can create a lot of opportunities in various fields. One such area is CFO service. Good number of SMEs are looking for this service, probably they are not aware whether my CA can provide the CFO service. Now we are creating that opportunity for our CAs to learn those skill sets in that 5 days workshop. After that, probably we can create a study group also for that. Those who have participated in that program can form a study group and learn few newer skills in that area and provide a quality service to their clients. That is the one important thing I want to tell in this meeting. In addition to that, this is also meant for CAs who are working in industry can also, those who wish to become a CFO can also learn these skills in that seminar. In addition to that, maybe some are currently working as CFOs. They also can learn many skills, newer skills from the expert CFOs. There are at least 8 expert CFOs are going to come in that workshop and impart their knowledge. So I request members to register and benefit from that workshop. And the next important workshop is from 19 to 24th. Again, it's a 5 days workshop. It is on RERA, Real Estate Regulation Act. So that is again an important workshop. There are a lot of opportunities available for CAs. See, under RERA Act, a chartered accountant can go up to tribunal in litigation practice. There are a lot of opportunities for compliance practice also. All builders or developers need to register under RERA. That normally they come first to the CA's office. So which they can take that opportunity and provide those compliance service. Later, the litigation service also they can provide up to tribunal. That is the reason we are conducting that 5 days workshop to help our members to look for newer areas of opportunities to their practice. The third important workshop commencing from 29th of April till 5th of June. It is an 18 days workshop. There is both mix of virtual and physical. 18 days workshop combining around 72 hours of CPE training. So revisit income tax. The whole income tax Act except international taxation is covered in that 18 days workshop. I request members, so those who are currently practicing income tax can update their knowledge from the expert, and those who want to come to the income tax practice, even though GST audit may go, income tax practice or filing the returns and litigation of income tax practice will continue. So for that, but expert knowledge needs to be there. Simply filing may not add value much. So expert knowledge on income tax act is required. That is the reason branch is creating this, hosting this 18 days workshop. So it's a basically hand-hold training. It is not a simple seminar kind of. It's a workshop just to help them to really understand all your questions, queries will be answered in those sessions. So I request you to register for that. In addition to that, newer programs we are planning is succession plan that is going to happen in the month of June beginning, first week of June. There is again for a 3 days workshop. Succession planning is most important in future because that practice is not much in Karnataka as such, whereas in Mumbai and Gujarat there is some level of practice is there. But in India it needs to pick up. It's a very good practice in abroad, particularly in Europe and USA. A huge demand is there for that service. This is going to pick up in India because the first generation of business is moving towards second generation and third generation. Lot of complexity will be there. So we chartered accountants can take lead, provided if we learn those skill sets. In those advanced countries, advocates are doing that service, whereas in India, not many advocates are trained for that. Maybe a couple of them are available, but it is not well trained. So we chartered accountants can learn those skills by starting with this 3 days workshop. Later we can form a study group for that. Forming study group, we can learn all those skills, drafting skills and managing skills and sorting all those issues in the family succession and business succession. Both is very important. Huge number of HNAs are available in Bangalore. All those people require this kind of a service, which chartered accountant is the first person can offer because a lot of trust already is there with the chartered accountants and their clients. So when we say that we are able to try and give this kind of a service, definitely we are the first preference for any client. So that program also is going to come. Then in May month beginning, cooperative audit workshop. Again, this year our plan is to create more of conduct more number of workshops than just 1 day or half a day seminar. So workshop always help the members, particularly the younger members, to understand the nitty-gritty of those issues and that their queries, their questions can be answered. So that they will get booklets also for all the seminar or the day's program that will help them to learn the newer skills and use in their practice. With this and one more, this Wednesday study circle is open for students. Students can learn from virtually from their sitting in their office. They can learn these skills, whatever the experts imparting here, they can learn. That will help them, particularly today's session is Companies Act. Companies Act, all the students will benefit for their examination. It's an important subject in their exam. They can learn many things from the expert. At the same time, they can learn these Companies Act issues and help in our practice. So this training of our students is a must. So everyone can make use of our branch study circle meet itself a training in their office. Every Wednesday, 6 to 8, keep a training session for your office. You put a maybe a training room or wherever is possible. Sit all your students along with your CAs. You can sit together and learn. It is virtually available. Yes, it is discontinued for members for the reason, but it is available for your students. So along with the students, you can also learn sitting in your office. Make use of this. These are all the initiatives of the branch to help our members to learn many things. Unless you learn and equip your improve your quality, future will be difficult. Just because I am CA, I can sign will not work in future. We need to add value. But adding value is possible by learning newer skills, new changes. So many changes is happening every day. Tomorrow onwards, so many changes is there in Companies Act, Schedule 3, new requirement of accounting software, and many changes in GST. All this, unless you inform to your clients, clients will go away. There are many people, hungry people are available in the market. It is not a monopoly service for chartered accountants anymore. There are competitors, many other people are looking for opportunities. They will market, they will reach your client, they will explain that I am the first person to tell you, whereas your CA is not me. So we are okay till now because of our mandatory audit available, whether we talk to him on today or not, 30th September he will come to us, he will pay our fees. That may not be continue any longer. So we need to be proactive. Like any other professional service, we need to provide a quality, value-added service to our clients. In this regard, as a branch, we can be the catalyst. We can say this is the way we need to move forward. Maybe sometimes we are right, sometimes we may not be exactly right, but we expect your comments or suggestions how exactly we can be better as a branch. I am expecting that from you all. So please send your comments and queries, what exactly you want to learn from the branch, what exactly you expect from the branch. All these things, please write to us. We can improve or we can conduct a better program to equip you. With that, I think I conclude my information about the branch activities. Come back to today's study session. We are really fortunate and expert, a board strategist and compliance guru, Sundaresan sir is with us. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Request, sir. Please welcome with the round of applause. So I'll make a very brief introduction of our senior faculty and experts. So Sundaresan is a company secretary with over 3 decades of experience. He leads a firm that specializes and advises in corporate compliance and governance matters for clients that include Fortune 500 companies. Sundaresan sir trains board members in 2006 on various matters and is rated as a must-hear. He has been passionately pursuing with speaking since 1991 in India and abroad, a mudra therapist and a numerologist too. With this brief introduction, I once again welcome Senior CS Sundaresan. Hearty welcome, sir. For you.
Good evening to all of you, and this time different presentation. Actually, what Shetty was telling made a lot of sense. One notification of small company, the loss to the practicing fraternity is close to 10 crores. 10 crores. I'll tell you how. Because what we are not realizing, in fact, in your latest newsletter I just saw, GST audit and tax audit is going down the escalator. And then what is going up are some new areas of practice, which of course, Bangalore branch has always got some new things, and whatever you said, the RERA, the succession planning, the series of programs. I think we need to open the new windows, new doors, whatever you call it. It is not only for you friends, it is for us also within the fraternity of company secretary. Compliance is taking a task. No, I'm not saying intentionally or no. It's nothing to do with the mindset. Understand, last year what happened is very simple, right? Our Nirmala just came down, just wrote some few notifications to the MCA. Gone, right? What compliance? Everything got extended. Even the income tax return has got extended till today, actually. So understand, way forward is going to be something like this. 2021 is not going to be any different. The whole trend is going to continue till at least March 31st, 2022. I mean, I'm not saying this is all whatever the intelligence of the market, I'm just gathering and I'm just sharing it with you. So the most important question that each one of you would ask is, would these notifications continue to be available even this year? I don't know, I'm not God, but at the same time I'm telling you, my guesswork says yes. So just don't worry, but at the same time, what we need to understand are the small little compliances here and there where we should not slip up and where we should take care that things are in place. I mean, that is what is the purpose of compliance. So understand, one, I'm talking about the business opportunity, number one, which is one notification which is effective from tomorrow, which is on the small company. There is a huge loss for you and me. I mean, the professionals I'm talking about. Point number two, going forward this year, is there going to be pressure on you for compliance? My answer is no. So entrepreneurs are going to take a back seat. The expectation is because of COVID, we are not able to meet, we are not able to go on. I mean, the latest news is about the second shutdown. Of course, it will not happen, don't worry about it. But there is talk of the shutdown and lockdown and all that. So, looks like the notifications that I'm going to put across may also be available for this year. This is a disclaimer with which I'm starting. So, let us see what is in store. Okay, so why did I word this comply and explain? Because compliance is so unique. It was actually comply or explain. Now we are in the regime which is called comply and explain, which means you have to comply and you should also explain. Where? Board's report, auditor's report. So two documents where you need to explain what you are doing are auditor's report and board's report. So I will start with this particular slide. Okay, lessons from COVID-19. Okay, very simple. Nothing was urgent. No, when did we realize? March 24, 2020. 1 year back we realized nothing was urgent. Nothing is urgent. Nothing will be urgent. Are we clear? Till March 23rd, every one of us in the world were running at some speed as if there is no tomorrow. But March 24th, it so happened that we all stayed back and we thought nothing is urgent, right? I mean, whether the last date was there, no last date. So that's what I'm saying. So deadlines are dead lines. As far as the law is concerned, deadlines are dead lines in the compliance world. The second one is there can be delay in everything. What COVID taught us is there can be delay in everything that we want to do, wanted to do, and will do. So please understand, there is no urgency for doing anything is what COVID has taught us. The fourth one which I have observed is very important. Please understand penalties. Now there was a regime where they said penalty, and then of course 1 year back when I spoke in the same place, I was speaking so much about penalty. Penalties have all gone to the back seat. I don't think there is any penalty that is really going to be imposed. Of course, person who is not going to comply is not going to comply. But those who have the intention to comply, you don't have to get text. So, penalties are just to frighten the stakeholders. Regulator does not need the money. And last date for filing. Now, all the sections has got some last date. Just don't worry about that. Because last date is what the regulator decides. No longer what the law decides. Whether it is income tax, GST, Companies Act, you name any legislation, the last date is only in the book. So, last date we have to keep our eyes and ears open to look for notifications from the concerned ministry. Okay. Now, these were the circulars. So, the first circular expired, which is dealing with a lot of these exemptions that we got and all that, which got expired. Late filings additional fee. I don't know if you have observed one great thing out there. there were so many things which were not in sync in law. For example, NGT 14. NGT 14 was required to be filed within 30 days. But government brought out a notification, regulator brought a notification, said you can file within 60 days. Now till December we never knew anything because it was so seamless, because no form there was any additional fee. Then January 1st, 2021 came. You again tried to file on NGT 14. Now started the penalty, which is the fines, which is the one-time fine. I'll come to that a little later. Now, so what is still available in the circular is that 30th June 2021, there is going to be a ordinary resolution and special resolution, which is still in vogue, which is to be done through video conferencing. Now, two things you should understand. Annual general meeting, the same video conferencing is available till December 31st, 2021. Extraordinary general meeting, it expires on 30th of June 2021. You can expect some additional notification from the ministry, but as on date, this is what it stands. Yeah. So AGM till 31st December 2021, EGM till 30th June 2021. So these are some of the important ones that we need to be aware of. And most important, of course, video conferencing. Rules have been rewritten. Very unfortunate. Nobody even knows how to conduct a video conferencing. But don't worry. If you have done it, I am happy. If you have not done as per the rule book, don't worry, because even the regulator does not know. It looks like board meeting, board BC meeting is very clearly spelled out. Tell me one provision which talks about how to hold a BC meeting for a shareholder. I mean, I've written so many articles on this on LinkedIn and all that. Please go and check it out. So absolutely don't worry. People are just taking whatever comes their way. They are doing things, recording whatever they want to record. So should I be tensed about it? For example, simple. The place or venue of a general meeting has to be. Now it's a question mark. Should it be the registered office? Should it be the address of the chairman or the company secretary who is recording your meeting? Nothing is clear. Nothing is clear. So some of the companies like maybe Infosys or Wipro or one of those good companies, whatever they set precedence becomes law. This is how we are saying, on being very clear. Video conferencing is a very dicey one. I would, give you so much of inputs on that. What all is wrong in a video conference and what is right in a video conference. But we don't have a choice. We will have to go along with it. So understand one thing clearly. For a board meeting, there is law. For a general meeting, there is no law. As of now, I'm just saying as of now. Okay. Okay, you have one more thing to look up to. Please don't ignore this. I was just speaking with Shetty and he was telling me, every chartered accountants firm which has more than 50 people have started looking at having company secretaries also for compliances. This is the great move. This is something which is latest, which is happening. Now, secretarial standards plays a very, very important role. If you think you can violate that, the latest Supreme Court judgment, which is that just 3 days back, and there's so much of news. Which companies Supreme Court judgment killed? Yeah. So I have done this full on for you in one of the sessions last February, if I'm right. Understand one thing, the underlying problem there was a secretarial standard. There was absolutely no problem anywhere else. There was a simple clause 5.1.2 of secretarial standards, which required how a board meeting a chairman should conduct. That's all. The rest is history. Now there is a judgment also, so I'm not getting into details on that, but please understand. Secretarial standard plays a very, very important role. Now there is this dilemma which I was just talking about. NGT 14 has to be filed within how many days? Now, why there is a dilemma? Because now this is still on. I don't know. I mean, regulators have to quickly come and correct all this. I mean, we are still running with some old stuff. Look at the one which I have highlighted. The circular allows MGT 14 to be filed within 60 days. Try doing it. You cross 30 days and you have to pay additional fee. So why has this not got incorporated in the software system of MCA? Clear? So don't take this for granted. On a conservative basis, please go ahead and file MGT 14 within 14 days. These are the anomalies which needs to be corrected, but with so many notifications, I think everybody is confused. So April 2021, which is tomorrow, we are starting off, right? This slide is with you, so don't worry about it. Just whatever little different than what I'm trying to say, please note down. This is what you will report on in the auditor's report of every company. I will ask you one thing: why you? I mean, why core you? Core you means the chartered accountant fraternity. It's asking. And this is not new. This is the old 227. Now it has become, 134 if I'm right. The reporting part of it. So now, every auditor has to take this ownership. Tell me one simple thing. What will you check to find out if a director is disqualified? I mean, I'm just posing a question because it's very important for you to know. This stage, you would just look at the declaration given by the director. Now tell me, will you trust that declaration? Should you trust the declaration? So what else? What? That is what is the takeaway. Please understand, it just takes 1 minute to do a TIN check. What is a TIN check? Very simple. You get the TIN, director identification number, just go and do a check. You will get to know whether the director has defaulted or disqualified in a MCA portal. From your audit point of view, you should have taken a printout and kept in the file to show that for this particular BIRA declaration, I have taken enough measures to safeguard my interest. Rather than passing on the blame to a director, saying that director did not give me the declaration properly, hence I will not be answerable. I'm sorry. This is your first page of auditor's report, which is starting from tomorrow, right? So got it? So here 8 has to be read with MVP1. Why? Because MVP1 is the form where the director says I'm a director in all these companies. That has to be connected with DIRA. That has to be connected with the TIN check of MCA. Finally, your audit is complete, good to go on this single point after you have it in your file. So, a very simple compliance looks like a very simple compliance. It is not. If you need to spend some time, right? Because you don't know. Most of the directors themselves don't know whether they are disqualified. So why are you blaming them? So, but as professionals, we know where to look up. Now there is another problem. Should I date that as March 31st or April 1st? I am talking about two forms. There is MPP 1 and there is DIR 8. The common fight which happens between two professional community is I want it as March 31st, whereas law says April 1st. A chartered accountant typically would say end of financial year, I want it dated as March 31st. Going by a plain reading of this, it says it can be dated anywhere before and any time before first board date. So this doesn't, like our force fighting, it will continue till Companies Act is there and it will still go on auditing. I have just given you a small hint, which is April 1st is what generally gets dated on MVP 1, whereas because MVP1 is a declaration for the next year. DRR has to be, DRR has to be taken as March 31st. It may sound very trivial, it may sound very normal, but no, it's all very serious. I will tell you last year's problem. Most of these forms were not signed. Tell me, as chartered accountants, I mean, there's something called a commercial call, which is like nature's call or which is God's call or whatever. That is your problem. Most of these forms were not signed. How do you deal with it? In fact, I am dealing with something which I promised the last year actually, which is called a virtual signature. You need some signature, right? You can't have something where they say yes. You can't have something where they say mail confirmation. Now, could you rely on the mail confirmation? Yeah, that is what actually most of the chartered accountants did last year. How? The director sitting abroad in the US or wherever, whichever place he got stuck, that person attached this form saying that I agree to the contents of MVP1 and DRE, and please take these two forms on record. Now, what is the signature? This is like a consent, right? An email confirmation received by you from a director. Are you fine with it? Think. I mean, going forward, it looks like this is going to be the norm. Satyam case was blown out of proportion only because of this. Why? Because every paper was given as a Xerox copy and nothing was real. Now here you are getting into a real life situation where nothing is real. I mean, may or may not be real, right? Okay. The second option that many people adopted, many CA firms adopted, is something called a DocuSign. What is that DocuSign? DocuSign is pulling the signature out and pushing it in that particular signature column and sending it to you. Some of the very good firms say, no. Digital signature. Yeah, I'm giving you various options, okay? You know what is the problem now with the digital signature? Some of the companies have not opened their office even today. The reason they give is the DSC is stuck in the office and nobody is allowed in the office. I don't know how long I'll go on telling this, but I mean, I'm talking from the company side. DSCs are stuck in the office. There's nobody who can pull out the DSC. I mean, I'm talking about September 30, 2020, the peak of Corona, when you had to sign off on all the documents. This was the common problem. DSC was not available. Here, so DSC, DocuSign. Then I'm giving you one more option, which is called the electronic signature. Now, what is this electronic signature? It's a very vague one, which is what I was just telling. I would just say J. Sundaresan, director, say for example, Cadbury India. I'll send it across to you. Is that a valid signature? Because it has come from the mailbox of the respective. Think, I am only opening up a lot of these things because this year also, in all probability, there may be issues like this. Here, the last resort, which is some of the reports decided that they will go ahead and approve the financials of listed companies, but at some point of time, they should see the wet signature on the document. Now you are asking me what is wet signature. There is wet signature, dry signature. Wet signature is when you take a pen and sign, it becomes a wet signature. Alternatively, if the person is not very literate, the left hand thumb impression on a rubber, on an ink pad is a wet signature. Dry signature, everything else is a dry signature. Everything else is a dry signature. So it's not easy, right? I mean, the signature itself is so many types of signature. So think about these issues. This year it's again going to come. I'll just tell you, I'll just share with you some of the signatures. Physical, I have discussed. Manual, I have discussed. Dry, I have discussed, which is digital and electronic. Then there is something which RBI brought out. I'll just show it to you. Cut, paste. RBI said, I will accept the document if it's a cut, paste signature of a director. But life has to go on, right? I mean, you can't just bring everything on. Then they said just SD. Just put SD / is it a signature? Scanned signature. Now that again, I am not getting into it, which is you scan it, paste it from a PDF thing, and then you file it. But I believe apparently you can easily detect what a scanned signature is if you put it, run it through some software. Then email signature is what I told you. Oral signature. Have you heard of oral signature? Which says, hey, don't worry, treat that as signed. I will come and sign it whenever it is possible. Trust me. Now, this is a very dangerous situation. No, please don't. Anything else is okay. Your electronic is okay. Docu is okay. Copy paste is okay. But oral signature never trust, because with Corona, you don't know tomorrow, Dharma, I don't know. You will never even see this person again. Never accept an oral signature. Please take a written confirmation. Next is WhatsApp confirmation. That has started again. Latest. All this we went through, that's why I'm sharing it with you. WhatsApp confirmation is very simple. I scan that document and then send it to you by WhatsApp and say, yeah, I confirm. Which means you have some documentary proof in the form of a message. Take that, keep it. Then you have, typed one, ROC, I'll come to that later. Facsimile signature. A blue dot courier comes to you. You sign, right? You take some electronic pen from that fellow and then you scribble. God ever knows. You also don't know what you have signed actually. One line will go, after that you don't know what it is. But it's signature. It's an affirmation of your having accepted something. Then you have PIN. This is another signature, which is latest, OTP. I send you a OTP, you read the OTP, you confirm, goods delivered, kept, gone. Consent of having delivered something. So friends, this is just, the list can go on and on, but what I'm trying to tell you is, expect the unexpected this year also to continue. What I am sharing you is the learning from last year. October, November, I know how we have suffered for various reasons, right? I mean, getting the documents, filing, all of those things. Yeah. So this particular document, don't trust, don't rely. Ensure that you get some confirmation, because you are putting this in your auditor's report. Next, quarterly board meeting. This is absolutely easy. Now, what happened last year was a 180 days window. Now that window and all is not available. Now again, we are back to 120 days. So please be careful. I don't think you will get any extension this year, except for maybe the board meeting through BCs. You may see some relief, and which may get extended to some more time till maybe December 31st, 2021. That's what is my gut feeling. So board meeting continues from April. Just take stock, 120 days gap. Please don't slip up. Yeah. Next is board meeting of OBC, small companies and dormant companies, which I will again come back in detail. But for you, as of now, one-man company or one-person company, small company, 2 meetings in a year. OBC, if I am right, at least one meeting every half year. And the only difference between these two is, I think there's a 90-day gap for a small company, which is to be there. And for a dormant company, it is 1 meeting per. Now, director's compliance, very simple. There is a e-form, the most tiring form. Now, I also understand the DSC problems that most of you will be facing. I don't know why our regulators don't relax on this. Just 2 days back, we had a We had a foreigner on the other side. Either he has to do sleep or we have to do sleep. I mean, very clear because of the geographical this thing. So we were all locked onto the call at 7:30 in the evening, and poor he was up at 8:30 in the morning or whatever. Now, the whole thing starts, the process starts, OTP. The OTP never gets generated in this whole process, only for a foreign director. For an Indian director, multiple OTPs come. Actually, the director is confused which OTP to use. But that poor fellow, the dog is barking, wife is calling, so he's saying, oh no, 20 minutes over, what can I do? But he has to understand that we are doing business in India and they have to take it easy. But honestly, this OTP is a killer. And for that person to go and get one DSC video, the frustration that a foreigner goes through, I wouldn't know why a CII, FICCI are still quiet and no representations are made to the government. I think this requires a drastic change.
Why not you write?
Sir, how
they are. I request you. Please write. Yeah. See, government wants ease of doing business. These are all the hurdles.
But Shruti, what has happened is, 5 years back, I wrote that small company there should be only one return. Today it came, no? We lost 10 crores. So, what I'm saying, yeah.
If we are talking about ease of doing business, yeah, all our this will go up.
All
that is the reason we have to keep quiet. Don't talk about that.
Correct.
Let the industry people talk.
That is why I'm telling you, at least this video verification, it's part of our job, but the problems that they are talking about, this simple form, right? DAR3 KYC, the amount of harassment that they go through, we go through, by the time it gets filed. I mean, why? Why so much? See, if you really look at a pension plan also, the State Bank of India requires you to just give once in 3 years, prove that you are alive. Yeah, agree. Which is, if you are if you are receiving some pension, you have to take it from your banker, one seal, and then lodge it once in 3 years, saying that I'm still alive, please keep writing my pension. Same way, please cut down the compliances. At least not every year. Every year it's becoming a nuisance. But why I'm here is to tell you what are the compliances. But end of the day, my whole purpose is certain things we can cut it off. Like ease of doing business. I think DAR KYC is a nuisance form, but we need to do it. That's why I put it up on the portal. Now, only here. Yeah, exactly. Like a thing. Give me a lifetime DSC. Huh? Why shouldn't go on analyzing every 2 years on a video? In fact, some of the firms give you DSC, instead of a man, one girl also goes and stands and then gives and they get the DSC. Finally, we say at least gender-wise, please do a whatever Mundabai type of verification. Don't do, all these frauds are all these frauds. Why are we taking it to? First time when you are doing something, have a thorough check, drop it. That's all. Let that fellow possess the DSC. What's our problem? I think a lot of these changes have to really come. This particular DRD.
They do that, the DSC will lose business.
I think correct.
But you say the CS will guy or the CA will lose business.
But I think
doing working for us.
But you are there to take care of us, right? With such innovative program, we will start looking at some different avenues rather than getting into all this, right?
He will take the renewal fee, but at least stop this.
Okay. Going through the verification. That is a really a problematic stuff on the face, the video stuff and then reading out some script and all. Not worth it, but anyways. One small takeaway for you. Now, what happens if I don't do this? Very simple. There is no big violation. It is just 5,000 rupees penalty. So it's not like the director goes out of business or whatever. Continues to be there, but till such time you don't do that 5,000 rupees penalty, one-time penalty is there, pay it up and then get back to business. Yeah? Now, there is something called DAR6. Now, this is for any changes that you need to do for a director. Now, here one more problem that we encountered was the passport. obviously every 5 years or whatever the duration, the passport will change. Now that passport, if it is a foreign director and you have not intimated to the ministry, you get into problems and you need to use this form. But you need to do it on time. Please don't wait. Because what happens is when you try to do some other form is when you get hit here. Now, when that fellow's DSC is frozen or whatever, you try filing this, it does not. So, the proactiveness and compliance to some extent has to be there as far as directors are concerned. Now, Csr, this is again another simple form where you need to go ahead and apply. Now, again, lot of changes like, you need a board resolution and then an in-principle approval. Now, lot of these things have to go because if you have to apply for a PAN, a permanent account number, do you want any recommendations? No. Same thing should be for a thing. Earlier, it was a fantastic one where every Aam Aadmi could go and get it. Today, it has become a cumbersome process. Either you have to incorporate your company or what. Maybe this is because of those Kela Wala and all that scam which happened in Delhi and all that, where bankers misused the, the milkman and the banana vendor and all that. Okay, understood. But have some stringent measures where you still can try and help these directors. Now, for appointment. Now, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to also give you a small insight into SEBI's proposal. Now, SEBI has recently brought out a proposal which today is the last date for recommendation to go. Now, look at this. For appointment of an independent director, why are you complicating things? There is called a dual approval. Do you know what is a dual approval? Very simple. Every independent director has to be voted by the shareholders. The first counting that will happen is excluding the promoters, which is called majority of the minority. I don't know, where they pick up all the words, maybe parliamentary thing over. Majority of the minority, which means only minority's vote will be taken. In that, if the majority have voted for the independent director will be appointed. It doesn't end there. That fellow has to go, no? Suppose he fails, then by way of a special resolution, the promoter can choose to appoint the independent director. Instead of that, let the promoter directly appoint that fellow. No? Why you do this drama? I don't understand. Are you getting it? If he fails, means he's gone. Now, okay. Where this came up is in HDFC Bank, it happened around 2 years back, 3 years back, where Vimal Jamal, the ex-governor, and MC Mehta, these two directors failed to get appointed. Mind-blowing. In fact, Deepak Parekh scraped through with some 2% in that general meeting. Otherwise, he would also fail. And that would have been one big story in corporate governance. But these two failed and they couldn't come back. Maybe this is a tip out there because shareholder activism is becoming very, very high now today in India. You cannot easily come and get voted into the system. But this dual system is a little bit of mockery and looks like approval of majority of minority, which means that they have explained what it is other than the promoter and promoter group. Which means the second option to come back is through the promoter group. So this one is not a great one, but still I just thought I'll just bring it out to you. This should not go through from a corporate governance perspective. Next is the resignation of directors. Now there is a form AR12, okay. Again, this is a proposal by SEBI saying that English is a funny language, right? You can't use these 3 words in your resignation letter. If you use these 3 words for the next 1 year, you cannot get appointed. Pre-occupation. So you should note down these 3 words. Whenever you are drafting your resignation letter for any director, there are zillion other words other than this. But these 3 words should not appear in the resignation letter. No, I'm just trying to be a little harsh on that. So you can't say I'm resigning because of pre-occupation. I'm resigning on account of other commitments. I'm resigning for personal reasons. Clear? Avoid these 3 words and draft the. Sorry? No, it's in the proposal. proposal. So yeah, I have given my comment. You asked me, no? So through some big forum, I have given a comment saying that freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Who are you to? Are you okay? Then let SEBI come out with a draft resignation letter. I mean, if you want to micromanage me so much, give me a draft resignation letter. Huh? I will give it to all the independent and say, this is how your resignation letter should look like. Or, like it happened, right? CMD position, chairman and managing director should not be clubbed. What happened? Our great company Wipro quickly went and separated chairman and managing director. Ambani went and said, I will not. So they removed that legislation. So I mean, only Wipro was in a hurry actually. So that's okay. They were put on governance. That doesn't mean that it is bad on governance. But understand that you can't go and micromanage an entrepreneur for everything and anything. You are better than you, right? On other hand, you are the regulator who penalizes for insider trading. One of the directors, one of the leading directors, 5 lakhs. Now, how much of money they would have made on insider trading? What does law say? 3 times the profit you have made is supposed to be the penalty. 5 lakhs. So certain things I am not mentioning because of controversy. Actually, okay. One of the leading IT companies. You just go and Google and
It is recorded.
you know, no, that's okay. It's all published information. Not that I'm just pulling something from the head. Okay. So understood. So this is another thing which is actually not taken in good care. I have attended 2 big sessions for discussion on this particular paper, which is a proposal. I think I'm against this freedom of expression. You can't go and micromanage. Yeah, a director wanted to resign, that's all. So I don't know. Now we move. Yeah.
They're trying to hide some. But preoccupation is a.
They say if you are preoccupied, you have to be preoccupied only with this company. Looks like, why will you ban me for 1 year? So cooling, okay, ban, cooling period. Okay, sorry, I should not use it ban. Cooling period of 1 year. Why? Don't I have to, can't I do anything that I want to do? Yeah, I mean, okay, I mean, there's some other for one corporate governance you said, no? So we'll do one session there and I'll give you all these stories. There's so much more that you can do, right? Forget it. Nothing is happening.
What if more is given? Just
Exactly. Beautiful point. No. So we were discussing in the office, and then I said, I resign. I don't put anything there. I resign. Brilliant actually. Correct, no? That's also English. That's also resignation letter. That's it.
He don't give the reasons, no?
That's coming up. That's the whole problem. Which means only if you have a reason to resign, you should resign. Without a reason, you should not resign. Which is like, I don't like the promoter space. No. All that cannot be the reason. But all those cannot fly there. A fight can happen any moment, any time, anything can happen. So anyways, I mean, that's a very debatable stuff, but this is what is law. Now, annual compliance, 136, this is very clear, which is the circulation of the financial statements. Now, shorter notice is possible. Again, when I addressed in the same forum, when the law had come, I very clearly said this Red Wing 103 has to be amended because there was no provision to hold a meeting at short notice. Now, fortunately, all that is come. You can do it at short notice also, but this is what is the compliance part of the circulation. Okay, signing of financial statement, very simple, approved by the board. Now, look at this, who has to sign? Very simple, chairperson of the company. Please note, Cyrus Mistry was the chairperson of the company. Chairman of the meeting, chairperson of the meeting and chairperson of the company are 2 different animals, or sorry, 2 different breeds. 5.1.1 of Secretariat Standards talks about who is a chairperson of the company. Now, only takeaway for all of you who are in practice, please ask for DIR 12 for appointing that person as chairperson or old form 32. Now, if you look at Cyrus, it should be some old form or whatever. But you need to get those two forms to just ascertain whether that person is the chairperson of the company. Okay. Otherwise, two directors. Please know. Okay. Now next is signing of board report. Again, this is also a very easy stuff. So who has to sign? Two directors and two directors. One of whom shall be the managing director, if there is one. So the question to you is, if there are only two executive directors, there is no managing director in the company. They wanted a KMP, so they have appointed only two executive directors. So please note, chairman plus one executive director. That's how the signature pattern should come. Board report, I am coming to this a little later, but I just listed out because it's an annual compliance. This funny thing now from April, I think website, web address, all of you need to wake up, because even if you have a remote web address, .com, .in, whatever, you have to put up a lot of things on the web address. A lot of things you have to put, annual return, extract, that, this. How do you create? Now you need to look out how to create that. Please do it. Otherwise, it's a violation under Companies Act.
Oh, small and private companies.
Comma effect.
Right.
Comma effect, which means if there is a website, you are in. If you don't have a website, no compliance. If you have a website, non-compliance. That's the difference. So you need to be careful. So check it out. You can always figure that out with the company, but if there is a website, you have to do that. Okay. Next is AGM. I'm not getting into details of this, which is very simple, once in a year. Last year there were a lot of funny things which happened. So the registrar, Suomoto, came out somewhere around October and said, all companies are giving you a moon to hold a meeting for next 3 months. So the professionals again started discussing. Is it December 31st? Is it before that? Does 15 months from the last year come and get triggered off? Does this notification override that? Very clear. 15 months will hold good. Or December 30th. Whichever is. Now please, just because he has come and given you a good ROCs, doesn't mean that everybody it is universally applicable till December. That, check it out, of course. Now what would have also happened is, because of this filing mela, most of these non-compliances got hidden actually, in the sense it went inside. There was also a move to bring that, form where you have to list out, that's already there. The form where you have delayed the filing and then filing, that's all done, right? Yeah. Now wait for the prosecution notice. No, because he wanted an update, right? So you have given the update, now you have to wait and see which section that person is going to take seriously, which one you just allow it to go. Okay. Now, copy of financial statements, again, this I am not getting into details, it is AOC 4, which you have to find, these are all common compliances. Next is annual return in entity 7. Again, no big rocket science, except that you need to check out on the shareholders details, which is the most critical one. I think beyond that, there is no big compliance on entity 7. Then there is the signing and the due date. Now, of course, one slide which I showed you that OPC. The funny thing in the OPC is they are saying it shall be signed by the company secretary. So my young company secretary friends are all crying. They are saying OPC will never appoint the company secretary. Whereas the regulator has put the company secretary in OPC. A small company would want to appoint a company secretary. They don't require a company secretary. These are all drafting. I think high time somebody really sits and knocks up all these or harmonizes all these sections. Okay. Then NGT 8 is the annual stuff, which is like a compliance certificate which you file. Yeah, auditor compliances. Now, which is what is very important, right? Now, be careful. April 1st, there is some new animal which is staring at you, which is called CSR. All of you be ready. All of you means whoever is the CFO of the company. Now, Shetty is encouraging all the CAs to look at CFO. No, see. CFO. Last time also we discussed this in our CSR forum. spend and utilization. Understand only these two words, more than happy for CSR, forget it. Spend means a company when it cuts a check and gives it as on today by 12 o'clock it will all end, has spent, which means the company has complied with CSR. Enjoy. Can the CFO enjoy? No. That's where the trigger point starts. Now, what is the problem with this certification? CFO has to give an additional certificate saying that the amount that the company spent has been utilized. Now, what is the meaning of utilized? Now, tell me which NGO can spend the money in one day. If you give money on mass tarifs, nobody can spend on mass tarifs. 95% of the NGO, unless it's the PM Cares, PM Relief Fund or Ganga Foundation, you will have to get the back-to-back certification from the NGO on the utilization. Don't worry. I'm only telling you, take that certificate and keep it with you. Because you in turn have to give a certificate to the board. The board in turn will report it in the board's report to the shareholders. So it's a chain reaction. But finally, who will catch? CFO. For a right or wrong certification on utilization. Clear? Any doubt on this? Very important. Don't worry. There may be a lot of NGOs which will say that I can't spend, only by September I spend, only by December I spend. That's okay. Just take that certificate and keep it up. That's all I'm trying to do. Because 2021 you will scrape through. But 2022, you cannot give me the same. That time I will stay. 2021 you can stay. Yeah. Next is why to certify? Yeah, this is the reason I was just explaining. Internal checks because okay, I'll tell you what's happening. Lot of companies are parking their funds in NGOs. If I can use this word parking. Okay. What is the meaning of parking? Asking the NGO to keep 5 crores. Now beyond that, we don't ask me where the money goes, how the money goes. The reason why this certification has come, when they are catching hold of the CFO is to figure out from there where it has gone. Lot of foundations. For example, they have their own foundations, right? ICICI, Forces, Vedanta, you name it. I mean, all these big companies have got their foundation. Everybody has got. Cut the check on 31st March, tick the box, park it in the foundation. That's the reason why this has come in a very big way, where government doesn't want you to rotate that money in that particular NGO for whatever reasons. Okay. Next is mandatory rotation. Now again, I've just given you the instances where the rotation actually happens. Now, otherwise it is just reappointment it is just a ratification on every year-on-year basis. Okay. Now, internal financial control. Now, this is another thing which is coming on. Small companies are not required to do. Regular companies, there is something called internal financial control, which you need to look up. Now, this slide also has got some threshold limit based compliances. I mean, all yours. I mean, you can just ask our institute. Yeah, circulate it to them, no problem. Yeah. Now, there is another animal which is ADT1. Yeah, so a lot of confusion. If I have not filed, what will happen? If it is filed, what will happen? Can I do it? Can I not do it? Then we give some shortcut called Z999. Don't tell that I have said, okay, Z9999, and then you fill it out and then something happens. Okay. So basically, this ADT1 is something to intimate about your appointment. Should you do it? Yes. Compliance, not compliance, everything are listed out. So there is a penalty for not complying with it. Company has got nothing to do. You as a firm will have to pay it. Next is the ADT3. Now, this problem arises when there is a fight between two chartered accountants. When one chartered accountant is upset and he does not want to go, he does not want to give devolution. There are so many stories in the market. I can't help it. But again, it is the firm's problem and there is a penalty provision out there. If you don't file, what will happen? That's when you ask me, there is a penal provision under 147. Next. This is another auditor certificate. This is related to rule return of deposit, which again, most of the big fours charge for this. I think it's becoming a chargeable business. I mean, in the sense, billable business. So it's not that you need to give it free, but auditor is required to give the certificate for deposits. Next is ARFA. This is another annual compliance which happens in July. This is pertaining to the Reserve Bank of India, where you need to go ahead and give a you need to file the return with RBI. Okay. Next is July 15th is the deadline. Yeah. Next is virtual signature. This is what it is. I've just given you a heads up. I'll see what I've not covered and then I'll move on. So yeah, this is what I said. So during COVID, interestingly, our Reserve Bank of India came out and said, in view of the COVID situation, signing or seal of their authority letter is vague. I mean, not many regulators came out like this. Huh? However, mobile image of signature may be pasted on authority letter. You ask any 20-year-old, they will tell you what all this is. Honestly, I don't know how to paste copy and all that. So, paste it. Paste on that. Please note, after furnishing all details, scan the authority letter or mobile photo image will also work and then convert it into PDF. They are only told what all you need to do. Same thing, try and do it for a filing in ROC. Your form will get rejected. Yeah, because the mechanism with which these guys look at it is something very different. They say, I will not allow. Scanned is okay, but all this drama doing cut, paste, copy, putting it and then pasting it into, I think there is a huge difference between regulators, how they do it. So what is a signature? Very simple. Which document the signature has to be put, whose signature has to be placed. Now why I am telling you all this is because the signature thing went in for a big spin during the COVID. Now this year's audit, please ensure that whatever was not signed, for example, minutes of the board meeting was not signed. I mean, I'm being very open out here. And they said that the minutes will be signed at the first instance where the company secretary is able to meet the chairman. Sorry, or I will just put it in a very nicer way, where the chairman is able to come to the office to sign. Or when the documents could be couriered to the chairman to sign. I am giving you so many options. This is how it happened. Onus is still on you. Please understand, because even for the statutory records you are responsible. Please check whether it has got signed this year. Okay, which documents to sign? There's a whole list of documents I just put, so there's so much of complication, right? Now, why should I? Okay, I'll give you options. I'll give you options. Yeah, because there are so many beautiful options are there. Why should we not take it and then go ahead? Today, if you affix a digital signature at this point of time, which is around 7, 9 on this particular day, my impression is there on the document. How can I cheat you? So why not digital signature? Why are we still on the wet signature? Okay, next is who can sign? This is a very important provision, friends. Please, there is a crazy section 21. We have analyzed so much on this. You need to be very careful about this. Anybody and everybody cannot sign a document. Please, it's very clear. Unless and until there is a board resolution authorizing that person to sign, cannot sign. CFO, CS, they will take anybody. This section is a very critical section. Please don't get the signatures just like that. Yeah, so these are the options, right? A DocuSign. This is what I said. This is how it looks. Next is digital signature, the perfect way of doing it according to me. The date and everything. Now there is something called a timestamp, which is already there in Secretarial Standard. Now why are we not using this timestamp? Okay. Because once you put a timestamp on the minutes, you cannot alter the minutes. I mean, in case it is going to get altered. That is one thing why most companies are referring or not going in for a time stamp. Time stamp seals the document, right? It's as good as your DST. Then this is a very simple way, right? Or email signature. Somebody has just given you approval. Now, most of the circular resolutions today don't get signed. But during the audit process, please ask for a complete email signature. Now, you will also find lot of companies, you will not find the name. You will find only the initial JS of the director. Those are all not signatures. Or you will not find the designation of the director. You just say J signature. Please push for it. Your audit papers, if it has to be good, or email signature can be accepted only with full details. At least name, designation. Don't take a document without these two. You are in for trouble if it is an email signature. Wet signature I'll explain to you, dry signature I'll explain to you, electronic signature I'll explain to you, all of these things which we just put. For a chartered accountant, where is this signature coming into picture? There are two charging sections. One is called definition section, 2 subsection 12 and 2 subsection 36. And both allow for electronic form of signature. But in electronic form of signature, DocuSign, time stamp, DSP, or email confirmation, which I have told you how it should be done, take it and keep a printout in your office. Accept it, but be careful. For example, you go for the audit and check out on the statutory register. Today, nobody maintains the statutory register in the hardbound book. That business is also gone. Now, everybody just puts it on an Excel sheet. It's okay. But during the audit, did they pull out the register of members and somebody has signed that register for you? Did you find that out? Then that's a valid document. Otherwise, it's not a valid document. Okay. So, ROC does not allow this. No ST. That's what I just said. So, there are some regulators who are very strict. They say you use your DSC, but I will not allow you to use the ST, which is just saying that you have signed it on. Why is there so much of fuss for signatures? Very simple. Understand, very simple. Last year, whatever I saw is what I just told you. Auditors are struggling with signatures. One is for them to sign. Number 2, to accept what gets signed. Number 3, in most cases, they are getting unsigned documents. Now, validation process of this particular signature is your challenge. Whether it is last year or this year, when you are doing your audit. Opc compliance. Now, OPC is 1% company. Yeah, any doubts so far? Sorry. Would some questions come on the chat box? No. Okay. So, I mean, if anybody wants to put on the chat box, please feel free to do that, and more than happy to answer. Yeah. So, 1% company, what it is, very simple. It was supposed to be for the Kirana shop fellows, but today who uses them is the consultant. Because for a consultant, instead of running a sole proprietor form, if the visiting card shows OPC, a company form of business, I think it looks much better. Now, next is OPC compliances, very simple, are more or less similar, which is you need to have a DIRA, you need to have an MVP1, you need to file the DIR3 KYC, even if it is only one director, and then MSME you need to file. Okay. Then, of course, other compliances like ABT1, MGT7, AOC4, so there are about 8 forms that applies to a OPC also. 8 forms, which according to me, I think they should bring it down to 2 forms. I think 8 is a little too much for any single entrepreneur or sole proprietor. Now there is something called a small company compliance. I am going step by step, one by one. Small company, very simple, April 1st, the definition is changing. Okay, so please, whatever audits you are doing, just ensure that you look at this particular small company concept very clearly. Today it's become a little bigger company, if I may say so. So 2 crores and 20 crores. Now what are the minus? I just told you that we lost about 10 crores of business. Now this is what is the impact. 15 forms have gone out of circulation for certification. Sweet. I just calculated 1 lakh companies multiplied by average 1,000 rupees revenue. And then I just tried to, not average, I'm not saying gone. So filing fees gone, okay, that's for the government. Certification fees gone. So it's okay. I mean, Chetty says somewhere we have to do the balancing act of give and take. Ease of doing business, good for the entrepreneur and happy for the entrepreneur. So let's move on with life. So this is the damage that has been done. Now for them, what is the annual compliances? Now I just told you that one particular form that NGT 7 has got getting amended, it's in the pipeline. They are completely revising that form. It's called NGT 7A, if I'm right. And they are completely revising that form. And all the information throughout the year, you will have to fill it in one form and file it. Good. I mean, at least the entrepreneur does not have to run every month, every quarter for compliance. That's right. So, otherwise, these 4 compliances are also holds good as in OPC, as in private company, as in small company. The only thing is on the financial statement, there are certain things that has to be given, which is what I just listed out, and there are certain things which you don't have to give, that is coming up. MTP 7A is what I told you, a mega form which is coming up in the form of an annual return, which is just one-time filing, and that's it. Okay. Next is now this is what my friends were very upset. Signing of annual return. Annual return of small company can be signed by the company secretary alone. Or if there is no company secretary, by a single director. OPC or a small company? Both. Small company. Yeah.
That certification that you said,
Yeah.
7 past 3 and all that.
Yeah.
I guess is that change going to come now?
Tomorrow.
So far we have had to.
Till today you can build it. Till today you can build it, from tomorrow you can build it. It's all over game.
From tomorrow only for the small companies that is
Correct. That is where the business is. Big companies, there is no big filings. Small companies where actions are or work. So that's where it's gone, right? Like a preferential allotment, the rights issues, so many things were there, right? So
big companies have a company secretary.
it will take care and only 2 big returns in a year. So they don't have too many frequent stuff happening like a small company. Then a small company may hold 2 board meetings, and of course, what they say is the gap between these 2 meetings should be 90 days. Which means, please understand, one meeting you should do it for finance. And the other meeting you should keep it for MVP1, DIRA, whatever. Which is maybe around March, right? So, September, March is what ideally we need to look for holding 2 board meetings. That's it. In fact, 1 meeting is more than enough. The second meeting looks like it's time pass. I mean, nothing great. Yeah.
Here what I do, practice of, on the big that might be nothing. That they can't beat the data, right? No real agenda.
Yeah. No, that is the real vision.
How can it possible?
Which one?
2 meetings you are talking about, gap between 90 days.
Nothing.
They have their own.
No. They can have only 2.
Not less than 90 days.
Less than. Not that is, you can't have 2 meetings September 28, 29 and say over and goodbye. So they are just saying for the sake of it, have 2 meetings minimum. So structuring wise, you need to be careful. That's all. So 1 in March, 1 in September. I think you have put enough into your time. That's all. Yeah, disclosure of aggregate of remuneration. Now this is another thing where For all the persons you don't have to give, I keep raising this in many forums, saying that, for a Apaharan, correct? I just need to read your balance sheet. No. Which CEO draws what money? Why struggle carrying or picking every child in the country? Right? And this much of information, I don't think you need to give, but anyways, you can't do anything. You have to give a minimum of at least directors, not the KMP. Whereas in other companies, you need to give a KMP also. Lesser penalties, now this is like a typical discount shop, I think 50% discount, something like that is there, which are not even subject to a maximum of 2 lakhs. So yeah, 1.5. So 50% discount on penalties is what is generally given for small companies. So at the time of adjudication, the small companies will be looked at a little different way than the regular companies. Okay. Now we move on to ad hoc filing. Now ad hoc filing, there are so many. Now that is where we need to be careful. But till now, what I discussed is fixed for all the companies. Now these may not come depending on the company. This is where I told you I'm sharing that threshold, like 100 crores, 300 crores, then you have CSR related compliances, all based on threshold limits. Now, for example, for a public company, you have woman director, you have an independent director, you have internal auditor. You have so many compliances which are staring at you. Of course, the resident director is a common one for all the companies. From OPC to a listed company, all types of companies shall have one resident director. That's minimum. Rest keeps changing for companies. Yeah, this is what I said. A nice presentation is prepared, of course, from my office. So I'm leaving this with you, which is very clear, which is CSR. When does it get triggered off? What happens? So one thing on CSR which you need to be careful. This year, my profit has dropped, my turnover has dropped, my net worth has dropped. Should I drop CSR? Be careful. Once a CSR, always a CSR. You cannot dismantle a committee just like that. Be careful. What law says is different things, but before you go to do that, take a second opinion before you dismantle. Point number 2. There are 2 different opinions on setting of losses. Some dear chartered accountants say, no, it only talks about profit. You can't set off the loss. In the sense, this year I had profit, last 2 years I had loss. It is just club the 3, divide by 3, that is what you arrive at the spend. Not the trigger one, the spend. If you are only a company which is holier than thou pipes, take only the profit and spend 2%. More than happy. Everybody is happy. Regulator is happy, you are happy, I am happy. Do it, but conservative basis, should I do it legally? No. You just have to divide the losses. Next is rotation. We have discussed certification of annual return. We have discussed then XBRL, appointment letter, audit committee. Again, audit committee is undergoing a very big change after the proposal from SEBI. All the directors have been independent, is what they are proposing. Then we have one director, cost audit, cost records. Then we have voting by electronic means, visual mechanism. This lots and lots of compliance which are just listed out for you for a listed company. Now, MSME one, very simple. Filing, please don't look back, because this is one thing which I think they are very closely monitoring, and I don't think you should refrain from filing this form religiously. Unlike ARFA, please understand this is not only for statistics. That goes only for statistics. This goes for statistics and for follow-up. Then there is a DBT3, which is the annual return for deposits. Please don't miss out, very important. Then vigil mechanism, which is not a whistleblower, but a vigil mechanism is a mandatory stuff for companies with some threshold limit where they need to establish this so that there are, that includes whistleblower mechanism, not otherwise. Then there is a BEN2, which is a beneficial ownership, which is there as ad hoc compliance, which is again very important compliance. Now here again I'll share with you a very recent case. we had in a company a trigger point. What is the trigger point? The promoters holding in a private company shot up to 35%. With that. Now the question that came up before us is it the promoter's problem or is it the CFO CS problem sitting in the private company? Who should have intimated this debt related issue first? It's like who should build the calculator, right? Please note, the defense that the promoter may take is, I don't know about this shareholding pattern which is changing around the companies. It is your call to come and tell me if there is a change in the shareholding pattern. So understand, you have a window of only 90 days to cure this problem. If it goes beyond 90 days, 50,000 rupees is the penalty on the promoter. 50,000. Very important. Keep a tab on the shareholdings of at least your core promoter. Every quarter, please keep monitoring the percentage change. Yeah, register. This is what I said. I mean, the list of registers which you need to see and all that. This is only for academics, so I'm just circulating this. Yeah, cost auditor. Now, cost auditor, again for appointment, there is a different form. Again for filing a report, there is a different form. These are all ad hoc compliances. Then there is a new stuff which is a past 6, which has come up, which is every half year for a public company, you need to report the share. But there is a deadline of 60 days from that 6 months where you need to update, file this form with the house. Yeah. So far so good. Now we are getting into the most important part of the compliance, which is the board's report compliance. Now what I have done is very simple. I just picked one of the better companies in the country, which is Infosys. Every clause I have pasted what is available in that particular report. So it's pretty easy for you when you get into the reporting point of view. Most important, COVID is not gone. So the paragraph pertaining to COVID should continue to appear this year also in the board's report. Please don't forget that 2 paragraphs for whatever it is. Whatever happened, right? I mean, the company took a beating because of COVID or the turnover came down. That 2 paragraphs continue to have as your first paragraph in the board's report. Here, this is one of the compliances that you should not miss. Second compliance which you should not miss is CSR reporting. Very, very important. I mean, why I'm telling you important because not only a CS, a small company, a CFO is also equally responsible for not putting this particular clause in the board's report. Here, the second compliance that you need to be careful about is the CSR reporting. CSR reporting, to the extent it is spent, it is underspent, it is overspent, it is non-spent. So 4 categories in spent. Spent, underspent or short spent, overspent, non-spent. Here, this year you may still be able to get a pardon. 2022, you will not get a pardon. I'm very clear about the CSR compliances. Now, the popular question that comes up is, 1 crore was my CSR spent, I gave it to an NGO, 10 lakhs only was spent by the NGO, 90 lakhs non-spent, should I report in the board's report? Now, this is a catch-22 situation. You have to take a call because according to me, it's like the Anand Satya, right? When they ask you have you spent, what will you say? Yes. You will never say no. Because from a company point of view, you are given that 1 crore. But on the utilization part, there is a catch. So there is something called, I think, 2, annexure 2, where the reporting is required to be made, which is a detailed, elaborate reporting, which has to be attached to the boards. So then you can fill up whatever you want. There on column will ask, implementing, have you done it to an implementing agency? You should say yes. And after that implementing agency, I don't think this point of time they are asking about this particular break. Stop there. You don't have to really go and express. If you still want to put something on the ongoing, be careful how you word it, because the moment you call something as ongoing project, all the other compliances trigger off. There is zillion compliance. Board has to meet, board has to take on record, board has to take cognizance of the fact that it is an ongoing project. Understand? Just 2 words and your compliance becomes at least 6 times more. Think. Yep. Again, it will all evolve, so you have to be agile. This is the web address. This is what I was just telling you. Now, most important, the word that has been used is web address, comma, if any, comma. Here. So, for all those who do not have a web address, my takeaway for you is, please put it in the code script. Mention that. Say that I do not have a website, hence he has not given this particular gist in the. Better, when in doubt, disclose. Nothing wrong, but mention the fact that you don't have a website. Okay? If you have a website, compliance is very clear. The extract has to go inside the website. If the website, where should I put? Very simple. What I advise people is, there will always be a corporate column. Means to show off who the directors are and all that. In that, have one more radio button. Call that compliance. And start dumping all these forms into compliance. I repeat, every website has got one radio button, corporate, team, board, something like that. Under that, have a radio button, compliance, post. This is not for a listed company. I am worried more about the smaller companies. Just do it. Next, number of meetings. I have just said how they are reported, so it's easy for you to take note of that when you read this whole document. So, how many hour meetings you are, you need to list it out. Okay. Now, last year compliance. Suppose a company has done only 3 meetings. What it said is, gap can be 180 days. Does that allow you to do only 3 meetings? For example, March 21st, 2020, you did your first meeting. Then the lockdown started. March 1st to September 20th, 2020 is 180 days. By that time, you should have done at least 1 meeting for financial, right? So 1 meeting. Then you had the second meeting during December, third meeting during March. You forgot. So the company has done only 3 meetings. This time when you go for the audit, is it compliance or non-compliance? Is it compliance? No, it's not compliance. Compliance, non-compliance. So the 4 meetings does not apply. The law says, so where is the 4th meeting? Please know that. You will find many companies. I just wish today is the last day, so you have an opportunity to close it today. Forget the paper meeting type companies, so in the real time board meeting guys, if they slip up, it's a violation of policy. So that 180 days gap is going to be a dangerous stuff for you this year, because that 180 days would have been around 2 quarters. Yeah. Point number 2. Video conferencing meetings. Now suppose all the 3, in all probability 99% of the companies, all the 3 will be video conferencing meetings. Here, as auditors, should you ask for the recording or not? Oh, no, I should not ask them. Will you ask for the recording or not? I stand corrected. Will you ask? Listen, bonus is on you, not on me, or not on our profession. It's your problem, not my problem. In the sense, they say that after you have done the audit, that document can get corrupted. It should not get corrupted. You generally have to preserve it for 8 years. Every document you have to preserve for 8 years. In fact, since it's a board minutes, it's the lifetime of the company. Technically speaking. What if the answer is going to be minutes is there, recording is not there? So you're going to face all this. Trust me, this year's audit is going to be tougher than last year. Last year, you still had all the records. This year, 21-22 is going to be the biggest challenge for you as Csr Reporting. Correct. This is all good, but the reply that you are going to get is, I have the minutes. I'm sorry, we just lost the record.
When you put the same thing, the recording is not submitted because it got corrupted. Disclose the complaints and the reason for it. This is what the management does. More than what we can.
Please do what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm happy for you. Please do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So
disclosing has got one advantage. It's not that you have neglected it. But without disclosing, then you're inviting it.
Yeah. But again, what is going to happen for all of you is there is going to be commercial.
Yeah.
Where will you report this? The moment I see your noting, my professionals will pounce on that particular document. Because what you have found, I cannot refrain from reporting in NGT8.
Yeah.
Company's expenses. Think, I don't know. I mean, these are all challenges we are going to face. I'm just giving you all what I did for preparing this presentation is very simple. I just sat down, closed my eyes, just went on last year, picked all the problems and put it here. If last year that is going to be the problem, this year it's going to be double. Think, because the board meeting slip up is going to happen, video conferencing, nobody is going to give you the document. Think. I don't know how to resolve this, but as professionals, I'm telling you, because there is a commercial angle to it, there is a call that we need to take, we have to appease the client, whatever, think. Done. Okay. So let me move on. Yeah. So that is the call on meetings. Please note, these are all going to be some small little editors this year. Director's responsibility statement. Now, if you look at it, you're going to actually get into a problem on, let's see. Point number 3. Point number 4. Directors are prepared the annual accounts on a going concern basis. These fellows are going to report based on what you are going to give. Your first line in the audit report is going to be what the reporting is this time.
Auditor supports a bid. The director undertaking. Additional.
No, correct.
I'm not saying that if we make, what I'm saying is that a kind of shifting onto the management.
That's okay.
Prepared. But still auditor has to check whether it is on the continuing basis.
Correct. Now, this particular product called board's report gets signed only as a second item to the financial statements. Financial statement, adjournment, auditor's report, then comes board's report. So these guys are going to actually point fingers at you. Okay, I'll give you a small tip. Our friend Sundaresan, now the retired partner, one of the sessions for cantonment branch, he had said beautiful things. He said, hey Sundaresan, don't worry about this going concern. if the auditor finds that there is an ability of the promoter to fund the company, I will still believe that this will go as a going concern. And anyway, I raised this issue to him because of Jet Airways. He asked me, hey, boss, as an auditor of Jet Airways, why did you not report that that is not a going concern? You just shut down the company left, right, center. He said, no. I mean, I don't know who it is. One of the before was the auditor, but we got on a debate. That's all. I'm not pointing figure, but on the debate, what he said, yeah, December 31st, 2019, because this happened in April 2019, December. These auditors would have walked in, asked Naresh Goyal whether he still thinks that he can bring in that 250 crores or 500 crores. He was saying yes. He would have not come for it as a not a going concern. So this time you need to take all these costs. That's why I am not. See, certain things where you need to really develop. As a signing partner, you may not go and sit in a client's office to do an audit. But when the auditor system is going to come out with this report, ask these few questions based on what did you do this, how did we certify? Because this point, director's responsibility statement follows an auditor's report. I have a problem. So the blame game can be you did not tell me, I did not tell you, you management did not, all that is fine. End of the day, be careful on this particular D.
Auditors in it is the systems and all. Director says so.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry to say.
Yeah.
There can be, there are situations where we have promoters. Director may accept that, tell that no.
No, then company goes.
That's it. So, say whether says responsibility is on the auditor. Okay. Even if they say does have the capacity to engineer, but still auditor can take a stand. No. What you said on the jet thing, potentiality has not been considered for the purpose of going concern.
Yeah.
Because potentiality of the promoter never considered for the purpose of the financials or
Good. Correct.
People may have does not take something. Business people all have the capacity.
Yeah.
They don't want to invest again. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to invest again. They don't want to.
Sir, this point is good, but they don't want to invest again. Was told on April 16, 2019. So March 2019, as an auditor of that company, where now these are all terms which are called VUCA terms or unknown, right? I mean, you are not God. I mean, you are not whatever, the third eye awakening types where you open your no, unless you attend that session and all that, you can't open and see what is happening elsewhere, right? It's not possible. So, what I'm saying, take a conservative call because of Corona. Again, because of Corona, take a conservative call, think, and then go ahead and do it. But as auditors, you always have what I call it judgment call. It's called a business judgment call. Yeah, at the point of time when I met the promoter, I felt it was like that. Yeah, you can always say that and cannot overlook. But I'm just saying.
Is it the in an audit situation, auditor needs to be independent.
Yeah.
He cannot be a front philosopher of
Correct.
the client.
Correct.
He needs to be independent. He uses independent views because he is auditing and reporting for various stakeholders.
Correct.
So just because his team promoter is strong enough to pump in money, he cannot say it is going concern. He has to see many other various parameters and whether it is going concern or not, he has to give his opinion.
Correct.
That is what expected.
Correct.
So maybe over the years happened because of the
Yeah, I have all these things.
henceforth, I think that independence one has to show. Otherwise, I think he feels liable for many various consequences.
Correct. And why am I telling you this is very simple? I'm going through a lot of these litigation cases. I'm telling you, banker will give you loan. Banker will give you loan. Only that discussion is happening inside the boardroom. Did banker give you loan? No. See, on one hand, you hear all these nice stories that ERS and that scheme, this scheme. Practically speaking, there are a lot of documentation that has to go to get that loan also. It's not like the government has said, bank has said, they gave the loan. 6 months down the line, I'm still finding some companies with 30 crores, they have not got that loan into their account. In fact, the promoter is saying, sir, it is just waiting to die. My company is waiting to die. No payment to staff, right? I mean, who will stay back without salaries? So what I'm trying to tell you, there are multiple angles to this. One is what he said, independent assessment and all that. Number two, the promoter is going to come and tell you, yeah, bank is going to give. Was going to give and given.
So there are a lot of places where bank has confirmed the loan, but approach it has not come.
You know why?
There is a letter.
I will tell you.
Your loan has been sanctioned.
Yeah.
It will be dispersed, but it has not.
Sir, there is a catch. I need additional security.
Yes.
No, this promoter does not want to give additional security. Yeah, whatever I heard in my life, why should I again go and put things like good apples, good money, bad money? Nobody wants to put that. So they are saying with the available security, if you want to release that loan, release. So the battle or the tough thing between the promoter and the bank is not getting solved. These are some of the things. So, no, again, this is about sharing of whatever experience in the last 6 months. I'm just telling you, lift the wheel, lift the parda, lift the wheel, and go and grow. Please, at least this way. For the sake of Corona. Don't trust. Trust but verify they say no. Don't trust. Fully. Yeah? Next. So, yeah, the other thing was what he said, you know, that he was just referring to that, which has just come in. Just a notification, April 1st, it's going to get implemented. Yeah, so some package, I don't know.
Software for audit.
Yeah, audit.
Which will show all the earlier amendments and all. Earlier corrections.
That's all. No, it will not show when you have gone for the audit. No. How much audit you did, that it will not show.
No, every correction, every alteration must be shown.
So, like a tax board.
Yes, it is a trail only. First only.
But it will not show only in the amendment.
See, what? I am only talking about
Next year.
He has invited me only today. So we are talking about compliances after April 1st.
The only thing we have got is not even 24 hours for the next.
And I said, yeah, it's over. Another 2 hours we are done with this year. So, the next one is details of fraud. Now, this is also another crazy one, but you need to go through it because this is what you generally report in the board's report. Suspected fraud, and all that. Of course, 1 crore is what is the threshold which is there on fraud. Next is declaration of independent director. This again not applicable to all the small companies. The policy on directors' appointment, remuneration, criteria for determining qualifications and all that. This is again applicable only for big listed companies, not for small companies. Then explanation in response to auditors' qualification. This is very, very important. Now, what happens in many companies, the board gets the audit report only in the last minute. Obvious for various reasons, because you get the financials only in the last minute. So again, this is all the chicken and egg story, right? Who gives me what? So many a times this gets slipped up. Just be careful because if it happens on the same day, if it's a physical meeting and if it's a real board meeting, you have a problem on this. If it's not a real meeting, then you don't have an issue. Okay, next is particulars of loans, guarantees, investments. This is also another thing which is coming in. Here again, there is another interesting read on downstream investment, which you need to record in the board's report. Please look up RBI provisions. I think it was 4.3.2 or something like that of the RBI annual manual. Just check it out. If you are dealing with a foreign company, the downstream investment is something which you need to worry about, which you got to report. Okay. Next is contract arrangement. Again, this is all related party which keeps coming in. Proposed amount of reserves. Again, I'm skipping. This is nothing to do. Dividend. Then material changes and commitments. consideration of energy, regular return, risk management, CSR, I have told you enough on what to disclose, how to disclose. Then we have director and key managerial personnel, and then we have subsidiaries, joint venture that needs to be detailed, details of deposits. Then we have orders of judicial bodies. Now here my takeaway is every single order that you get or notice that you get, please pay attention to that, because many a times the regulators may have levied a small fine which you would not have looked up, that would have become a bigger one, and it will come and hit you. So this is a very important item as far as the board's report is concerned, and you as CS are concerned. Yeah, IFC, then auditors, of course, your appointment has to be mentioned. Then this is another beautiful reporting. I don't know, because of work from home, they say that there are very less number of sexual harassment case that has got reported, but I have different stories. Of course, some of it, no, one trailer and review. Verbal abuses have started. Verbal abuses. No. This is a very serious problem, actually. I mean, and I always advise.
First part of the.
Yeah, the verbal abuse is after 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, when the boss is on the high. No work at home, full high. Yeah, full high. Picks up the phone, speaks to the subordinate. Oof. So not that it is not reported, so be careful. I mean, of course, if you are going to take care of the compliances for a board's report, this plays a very important role. So you need to ask whether there was any reporting which was made, whether it was verbal or otherwise. Then I move on to the last slide, which is stay safe, stay compliant. If there are any questions, just check the chat box if there is any. There. Yeah, please.
Instance. So suppose a CSR compliant company has already donated to a valid NGO for the NGO is constructed for specific objectives. Peculiarly, after a few days, the NGO writes back to the company and says, "We have dropped this project. Will you take back your money?" What is the consequence of the donor?
So,
It really happened.
Take money and put it to PM.
No.
wait, let's go step by step. So, first thing, March 31st, I have ticked the box.
Yeah.
Money has gone from my side. Then this guy, after say by about August,
Okay.
says, "Hey, listen, I can't spend your money, take it back."
What is the consequence? Can they take back? And if so, what is the effect of compliance in the
The project has also been stopped, so it's not a specific project.
No.
That's
This is,
activity.
no. Nobody asks such questions in the end, actually. That's okay. So, no. Question is very simple, right? The NGO wants to return the money back.
Yes, what is the consequence? The donor.
Okay.
Is very clear. Sorry to. If NGO has decided not to continue the project, then it has to be done.
Wait. Money, if it comes back to the company, you have an issue. No. I was thinking. Huh?
You said something, sorry.
Money, if it comes back to the company, you have an issue. You have a surely an issue. Right?
Yeah.
So, option one. What if I ask that NGO to give it to another NGO to spend the money?
Sir, here the question is, you cannot return money back to the donor, because once the money received, it is received forever. It cannot be returned. So NGO can donate to another NGO, or it can give it to Ganga.
Or PM cares. But
One second. Okay. Solution number 2.
still the problem for the first company remains.
No.
It has been not used by the NGO.
Wait, no. So I have to fix it, right? So this is actually for all of you.
Yeah.
As simple, you need to fix the problem, right? I don't have a problem. So wait. So option number 2, which is a good one, which is ask that fellow to put it in PM cares or PM relief fund or Ganga claim. Done. Option number 2. Then there is a third option to this whole thing, which is If the money comes back, say for example, I will not do it, take the money back. If the money comes back, then from an accounting angle, how do I take that money back inside my company? No, there can be a life situation, right? I will not do it. Take your money. And he sends a demand draft or a pay order addressed to your companies and then sends it. Now, as a CFO, you are already tracked that money sitting in your table. What do you do? It's a great situation. Okay, I mean, very honestly, I'm not coming across something. I've come across a situation where, after giving it to the NGO failed. Yeah, that is another story which I have got, which is NGO failed. My money gone.
Money is gone. If NGO fails, NGO cannot return the money to the donor. If he fails means he misappropriated fund, again he cannot. Suppose he has fund, his option available for NGO is to give to another NGO only. He cannot take the money by the trustees or anybody founders. It has to go to another NGO of similar objectives.
Okay.
There is the only option available for NGO. NGO cannot return the money. If they return, they will be held liable for criminal offences.
See, now you are looking, you are thinking like the Satyam scam. In the sense, like how they bailed out Satyam, you are giving a solution. But don't you think, if that NGO fails, that NGO has to give it to PM Relief Fund?
Yeah.
No, from a company point of view, you should think, right? See, if that fund gives you
From a point of view, whatever they say, utilization, you see that see, this see, it is impossible for the company's point of view. Company, once it donates to NGO, it becomes the NGO's responsibility to deliver. If they not deliver, company cannot make company and responsible, whatever end. At the most, yes, company has made today, but it will not stand in the law.
Sir, my fear is not for the company. My fear is for the CFO.
The CFO also is not there. He can make sure that let it go to the PM care.
Something he has to resolve. Actually,
what if the receiving NGO does not close down, but it has lost the money? Good part of the money it cannot utilize. Let it be very general. I'm not going to specific.
Okay.
They are not able to. Okay, activity remains. Money is not there. It has been pumped into some other purpose. Is the donor company responsible for the end use?
Donor company is responsible for the misuse. I will not take the end use. I will, no. CFO's problem. Sorry, I'm saying CFO because that day I was very clear, right? Dump. Government has dump. No, dump is not that dump. Dump is design, utilize, monitor, and process. See, this is your problem only. You cannot escape from this. You means the CFO.
By selecting the NGO, the responsibility is there.
Yeah.
How long that has run? What is the
Exactly.
management of that NGO?
Exactly.
And the credibility of all this. Otherwise, it is a misappropriation by the company itself.
No,
Because
and
they are not at their registry.
At the time of receiving the money, it was hale and healthy. No symptom of any misuse. Later transpires that it has been misused. So how far the donor company should state this in this report?
Again, commercial call, board's report. Just mention what has happened.
Yeah.
How to disclose this?
Right. Yeah, exactly. You have to devise a mechanism to disclose, and get it.
So my question is the donor company deemed to have complied with the CSR still in this case?
Yeah.
Yes.
Deemed?
Intention when I cut the check was to give for CSR.
Yes.
Now that CSR project failed. I can't.
No, it might have failed.
No, what?
It might have been inculcated.
Correct.
Anything.
I can. So I was just pulling cherries like saying CFO. No. Yeah, CFO is responsible to some extent. Doesn't mean that I put a gun on his head for a CSR company failing or a NGO failing. No. Correct. So where we are concluding is utilize the certificate you will not get. Because according to him, whatever, either it's gone or that point of time, CFO has to report back to the board saying that hey, he has to give a full history FIR saying that this is what happened, you put the money, this is no problem. Board has to record, board has to quickly record it in the board's report. That's it.
Sir, my further question is, should the donor company file a police complaint and
All that,
investigation?
all that go ahead, but his responsibility as CFO ends.
By report.
I mean, I can't. I mean, he has better job to do, and that's how, I mean, whoever the CFO, they have a better job to do. Right? So let's not go beyond it, but the dump, don't forget. Everything is on your head, means the CFO's head. So it fails, report it as a
What's the fee the dump is?
dump is design, utilize, monitor, and then process.
What about the impact study? The use state. Is it got impact on the spend?
All that fails, no simultaneously. They have not gone 10 crores and above. If impact assessment comes beyond 10 crores, but everything fails. Everything fails. You have a bad board's report or a bad reporting in the board's report for that. So, thank you all for the patient listening and work to children. The slides are for you, so please reach out to the chapter and then please take it.
Can we take a copy?
Yeah, all yours. Thank you, ma'am.
Friends, we had a fabulous session from our senior faculty. We made a detailed presentation of what all we need to comply in companies at Angle. I think everyone enjoyed the session. I really enjoyed and learned a lot. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of Bangalore branch and all the members present here and online, our wholehearted thank you. Friends, as a token of appreciation and gratitude, let us present a memento to our secretary.
How do you make it different every time? I have spoken of them. For the Bangalore branch, I need a full cover. Oh, that's
National anthem. Please, friends, stand up for national anthem. Thank you, friends. Thank you to each one of you. Let us wind up.